What's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at Booshakalaka at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, Booshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at Booshakalaka Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Booshakalaka Podcast. I'm your host Tiffany, joined by my co-host Pierre.
There's a baseball diamond where I coach our little league about a mile from here. We meet there around 2:30 in the morning, dressed all in black. Your hair in a black stocking, and we have us a knife fight. We won't be bothered. Now, I have to fix Nikki's cereal.
I don't even have to. I'm not even gonna play like I don't know what this is,
right?
Because I should have been motherfucking Black Mamba. You already know. You already know what's gonna happen. I think black is the way to go. Yeah, so we're here for this black-ass movie review of Tales from the Hood 2, which came out in 2018. The synopsis goes a little bit like this. An anthology about lust, greed, pride, and politics. Through stories with demonic dolls, possessed psychics, vengeful vixens, and historical ghosts.
Did you introduce Jay?
No.
Oh. I'm like...
It's all good.
We know he's here. We're joined with our special guest, Jay. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
He's not even a guest at this point. He's like Maxine Shaw, host. Attorney at law. You know, we have the apartment and he lives across the street and he just comes over.
Oh, yeah. At least he waits till he's invited.
Okay.
Maxine don't wait till right, because Maxine.
I said at least he does.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got the link. He can pop in anytime he likes, if we're being honest. Oh. We could probably be recording one day and look up and he's
there. That would be kind of cool. If you guys...
While you're talking about Japanese women.
You would have to accept me, right? If I just...
I don't have it set like
I might have to do that.
Oh, no.
That's crazy because I have to be accepted.
So I gathered us all here today to watch Tales from the Hood 2. I wanted you to see the downfall of this movie. It was written and directed by the same man who did the original. Can you possibly believe that?
No, absolutely
not. I
really
don't even know if I want to talk to you after this bullshit. Like, it was painful.
You know what? As I've gotten older, I've lost a lot of friends. Another one won't hurt. So, I mean, you know, do as you feel. Do what makes you happy, okay?
Absolutely.
Still love ya.
What is that?
But yes, it is the same drink from last week. It is, yes, the same creator, same writer, same director on some of the shorts. Yeah, so we started.
What happened? Did he just need a bag? Like, why did he do this?
So 1995 to 2018. What is that in math? 33 years? No, 23 years. What is that?
It's like math? He was trying to make a point, but it was a terrible point, and I couldn't understand the point he was making. Like,
I will say I've watched this a couple of times.
Well, you are sick.
It made... Okay, so I've watched it from beginning to end twice. This made twice. I have watched the psychic segment at least 50 times.
That is the... Okay.
The psychic one was
not my least favorite segment of the four. Not my least favorite.
Out of all of them, that should be rated at the top. I don't care what any of you say. That is the best one out of this entire anthology. But yes, so the wraparound for this Drek is called Robo Hell. And I don't know who or how much Keith David was asking for, but I feel like I might be able to get him to come to my birthday party.
I feel like because of the amount of, I know he makes a lot, like he just has too many voice roles.
I love Keith David.
Maybe he just does.
Legend.
Like maybe he's just one of those people who's just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like how Samuel L. Jackson is like, I mean,
yeah,
I ain't doing nothing else.
You're paying what I want, I'll do it. And Keith David, I don't care. Even though this movie is terrible, he was still great in it. He was still amazing. All right, so we start off with the wraparound, which is called Robo Hell with Keith David, of course, like I said. So this is supposed to be the distant future. I don't know how distant. I don't know, 5 years. And you have Dumas Beach. dumbass bitch.
I know. That's why I was like,
You remember that commercial, Mr. Dumbass, it's Mr. Dumas. I can't remember what it was for, but it's a stupid commercial that came out back in the day. I don't know. He is misogynistic. He is racist. He's a you people type of person. He talks to Keith David, talking to him about how much his people, are the majority of the people in his private prisons, and I don't know what we're doing here. As this movie started, I was very confused the first time watching it because I'm thinking, where's the shit? Somehow the word shit gets popped up, and Keith David's like, "Oh, this shit," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't really work out this way. It doesn't. It's not working." I don't know why they felt to include that. I feel like they could have some other way. I would have rather he stepped in shit, and that would have worked better for me. I'm not quite sure. So Mr. Sims, who is Keith David's character, is here to talk to a sentient robot, basically a robot police force, what they call the Robo Patriot. Um, one of the guys is like, "Have you ever heard of AI?" He's like, "Yeah, that's artificial intelligence." Well, I call it RI, real intelligence. And it's, okay, yeah. So real intelligence can learn from firsthand experience and secondhand experience through stories, fables, and tales. And Mr. Sims is there to fill the heads of the robots with information from his stories to help them better determine who is a criminal, and thereby will fill the prisons for Mr. Dumas. So he asks him, "What type of story would you like to hear first?" And Mr. Dumas says, "Let's pick something, in the news right now. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter." And I didn't know where this was going. I thought it was gonna be like something about a protest.
Mm, mhm.
No, it was a little ditty called "Good Golly." Pinky, take it away. I know you got a lot to say.
I have nothing to say. The way you acted with House of Wax, but you had me watch this bullshit. Okay, so we start with these two girls. They show up to a museum. I don't know their names. Black girl and white girl. Audrey
is the white lady, and Zoe is the
So Audrey and
other white
Zoe
lady.
show up to the Museum of Negrosity. Negrosity?
Love the name. Love it.
Yeah, it's Negrosity, maybe.
Negrosity. I hate them. So and they it's just so racist. Like, and
it is, but it's like this
itching.
was my favorite segment. It was funny. It was stupid. I was just like, okay, they're really trying to have a good time with this. This is not gonna be the serious, I have a message type of vibe from the first one. But I was like, okay, they are on some bullshit.
Yeah, it's like they took all of the
stereotypes
from the KKK comeuppance from the previous one and brought it all here.
Times 10.
They tried to get serious at the end, but it failed.
Yeah.
So they're there at the Museum of Negrosity, and I'm sorry.
Sounds like Degrassi.
That's what I was trying to say.
And they there's just a bunch of this stereotypical old mammy, blackface stuff. And they're just walking around, and the white girl is just, it was very hard to watch. It's just like, I don't understand why she needs to say nigger, but okay. And
the hard ER. There was no slang in this at all from anybody.
And so I don't know, curator? Is that what they would call that?
His name is Floyd. Curator.
Okay. Yeah. So he shows up and he's trying to educate and why it's important. Of course, it don't work. And it pisses me off because the black girl, it's like the white girl will say something like, "Well, this is so long ago, and black people all these rappers call themselves nigger," and the white and the black, "Oh, she got a point."
Yeah,
no, she fucking don't.
She has a point.
She don't. So
I have never been like that. When I was younger, I hung out. Well, this is like 6th grade, let's say. I started hanging out with more black people, like high school and beyond. But even in the 6th grade, the motherfuckers weren't saying that shit around me. I don't know how that's cool. I don't.
Yeah, nah, like that. That's never been the case. I kind of had a similar upbringing where I had just a solid group of my black friends, and then I had a group of just not just solely white friends, but just everything else or whatever. And it was never no weird race, even from grade school through college. It was never on that type of time or whatever. And then more importantly, the black girl was doing a lot of chippery type of shit too. And I never did that either, of course, but it was just all bad or whatever. But this was flagrant. Like her friends were straight up racist. I don't even know why they're friends with her, but
because they've known each other since they were kids, and they had like a little secret handshake.
Yeah, because well, I see. My problem was I never hung out with my white friends outside of school. It was like they were my school friends. So I like.
See, that makes sense. But you also were born and raised in the same city your entire life. That your family is there. That helps to, create that environment for you. Like we were a military family, so we moved around a lot. But every summer, my mom made sure to punt my ass back to Mississippi and stay with all the black people. That when I moved to Mississippi and started going to high school, I was like, y'all got all these black people in Mississippi. I thought I'm sorry, not black people. Y'all got all these white people in Mississippi because I thought it was a black town because I spent summers with my grandma, with my cousins. I was so surprised in the amount of Asians in Mississippi. I could not believe it. But she made sure to stick me in the environment with my people. So I would know, I would have that balance. And I think that is very important, especially for a young child growing up. But these two bitches.
This is a wild dynamic.
I'm really thinking the way she was acting, I feel like she was probably adopted by white people. What are we thinking?
And basically, there's this doll that Audrey wants, and she wants.
It's a gollywog.
Golly doll.
A Polly's is it? Wait, is a what's she gollywog?
Golly, yeah.
She's like, oh my God, I wanted it. And the black guy's like, no, there's history here. You can't have it. It really gave Veruca Salt, honestly. Like I want it now. Like I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and girl, you don't want that fucking doll. Like I'm just
and then when you see the doll, like for people who don't know what a golly doll looks like, you could have made one. You could have found somebody to make one. If you only wanted something that just looked like that and not like the meaning behind it, you could have went anywhere and had that doll made. They look like they got money. I'm not understanding. But yeah, she wants the golly doll. She calls it Golly G. And like you said, the curator is like, no, we're not giving this to you. This is a doll of racial propaganda and it carries over 100 years of racism with him. And she's like, well, my grandma had one and she passed hers on to me and I want to pass it on to mine. And it's like, I just don't understand how, I understand how it didn't happen to you, but how can you not feel for who it happened to? It just, it blows my mind. You people have no empathy whatsoever. And then again, I will say this movie is shit, but it did bring up a lot of thoughts like about what's going on now, that people are still like this. And it is very unfortunate. And I just want to slap them all.
I think this segment definitely had the most poignant message. Even the curator, he was dropping some bars. I was like, whoa. This isn't.
Yeah. Like when they brought up the Holocaust.
Yeah. I was like, okay, he going in. And I'm kind of feeling it up until this point. Let me just caveat
those bitches
that.
Didn't care.
At all.
They did. They were like, oh my gosh, interesting. Okay, so how much is the doll?
Oh, we can't have the doll? Fuck you. Like, it was just very. Yeah.
I mean, he laid them out. And then that's the part where she's like, well, black people call them as R all the time. And I feel like we should be able to say it too. I wanted to rip that $3.99 Yaki ponytail from her head so bad. I wanted to just pull it and just ring it around her neck. But that's okay because somebody else does in a minute.
Did you guys peep that? Did you guys peep some of the other artifacts or things in the museum? I thought that was kind of cool. How they kind of had the doll from the first movie. From the painting or whatever. And then there was like other little knickknacks or whatever. I'm like, okay, they're trying to like, I don't know, canonize this or invest in it a little bit, but I just thought that was neat.
They probably made all of those things. It didn't take a great artist to create those. He did have like a good point where he said that, he said that they would brand us back then to show off their property. And when the slaves became free, they found another way to belittle them by making caricatures, drawing and painting them, depicting them as stupid. And like I said, it didn't take a good artist to put those together, because everything was just so lower level. Like, nobody could, the fuck is this? Oh, there's blackface. It's just black with a watermelon as the mouth. Bitch, I don't even eat watermelon, so fuck that stereotype. I always have to tell people that I hate watermelon.
I hate you.
Why? Why do you have to tell people that? You can just not
Because they don't.
eat it.
Because it is a black stereotype. You will not believe it.
Especially
What do you mean it's
Hispanic
a-
stereotype too.
Like, what, are
Especially
they just
Mississippi.
like they're just running up to you with like a plate full of watermelon and
No, it's just always like, I'll go get something
They'll-
to eat. Say
yeah.
I'm somewhere and I'll grab something to eat. Like, oh, did you
Okay.
get the watermelon? It's sweet. And I'm like, no, I don't like watermelon. Watermelon is never sweet. And I always get the same fucking line. Oh, you never had a good one. Bitch, I try it every time because somebody says that, and every time it just tastes like mush.
I don't
hate
like it either. I wouldn't say it tastes like mush. I would just say it tastes like water.
There's
but
no
just-
texture.
I like it.
I don't
It
like
tastes
the-
good to me.
No, I
I
don't
don't
like
like
things.
the texture.
I don't like things with seeds in them. Like the fact that I have to bite something and spit something out. Ew.
Yeah, it's not. It
Hey.
is the last thing.
Fuck, Jay is
Bite it,
so.
you bite it in, spit it out.
You
teach
better
me
chill
your
out.
technique.
You
Fucking
better,
nerd.
no, you
You
better
get
chill
somebody
out.
fucking nerd. He did
You
this
better,
last time.
nah, you better chill out.
He did this last time, and I did not
He
even
did.
like it.
He did.
I was-
Y'all ready to? Y'all showing out again? Huh?
I'm just saying.
Like,
Showing out again. I see. Just waiting on it, huh?
it's like
Wait,
sunflower
no.
seeds. Like I don't
Yeah.
like to eat
Oh, I
something
love
and have to
sunflower seeds.
expel something else.
So Zoe and Audrey leave because Floyd tells them to get the hell out of his museum. Get the hell out of my house.
And I'm wearing pink. Ah! Yeah.
You are. So it cuts to black, and then we see a little Toyota Tercel pull up. Was it a Tercel? I don't even know.
I don't know what kind of car. It might have been a Ford Focus
know
for
what
all
the
I know.
fuck you're going.
Like, yeah, what are you doing?
Anywho, Audrey and
This
Zoe
is the
show
movie
back.
you choose to like pay attention to the small, minor little things.
Oh, my face so
A
red.
Toyota Tercel, but okay.
The first
They
time I
show
saw
back
that.
up because they're determined to get this doll. So Audrey and Zoe show back up, and they show up with Audrey's brother, who Zoe's
Philip.
fucking. What's his name?
Philip.
Philip.
Philip
And
Banks. Philip Banks.
don't
Sorry.
disrespect Philip Banks like that. and they're fucking, and then she's also fucking Zoe's brother. Whatever.
It was
So-
really weird. It was really.
Yeah.
She was like, "Ew, I don't want to hear." Zoe's like, "Ew, I don't want to hear anything about that." Or Audrey said that, and Zoe says to Audrey, "Well, you were having sex with my brother first."
And
And
then
he's like, he was your golly gee.
yeah, he was like, yeah,
It was
I like when he
weird,
called me
yeah.
his little, what did he call her? His little white snowflake. Yeah. It's just,
I don't play with people like that.
I don't do that.
I don't,
Yeah, that race
I don't
play
play with
shit.
people like
Don't play with
that.
me.
I
Don't
heard
fucking
that
play with me.
a lot of gay people. I haven't heard it in the straight community, but I heard that a lot of gay people think that is great.
Can you get the
race-
fuck out of our community? It is.
Racist role play.
It's a problem that we're dealing with. Okay? We're
I
dealing
need
with.
y'all to stop.
Wait, break that
mostly-
down for me. What's happening here in the
It's
gay
a white,
community?
so there'll be a interracial
Ah.
relationship, a black
Why
are you
male
talking?
and a white male, because I know what I'm talking about, beach. And basically they will talk to them like they're a slave
Yeah.
during sex.
And-
Whoa,
Mhm.
you
And
know
they'll get
what?
off on it.
I didn't watch this shit, but I heard about it on another pod. Didn't Gerard Carmichael?
Yes.
Won't he wildin'?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But you know
Okay.
what? I'm not even gonna hold you, because I'm pretty sure it happens in the straight community too. I'm pretty sure it happens in all.
Well,
communities.
no,
People have
because
some
we
crazy
have
kinks.
we've seen those kids who like the
No.
white boy asks his black girlfriend to prom, and he's like, "Can you pick cotton?" Something like that. They, them posters. I've
You're
seen
right.
that too.
You're right.
But
You're
those
right.
are kids, so I'm like, they're just stupid.
No. No,
Okay.
no. Again, the empathy. Where's the
On
empathy?
TikTok,
Yeah.
there be some shit where it's like, oh, he my slave, or that. It's
Whoa.
some,
Well,
Yeah,
TikTok has gotten to the point where people are engaging in rage bait to get views and money. A lot of it is not
a lot of
it's
cloud
not real.
chasing.
Yes,
Mhm.
they don't believe that shit. So when I see some that I don't agree with, I'm block. I probably have blocked so many people on TikTok. It's ridiculous. I'm to the point where I don't want to get on it anymore. It's making me feel how Twitter used to make me feel. Because I don't really get on Twitter anymore. So once they changed the name,
There's
I kind of stopped getting on it.
there's definitely yeah. Have y'all noticed that your For You page, your algorithms just don't really be for you?
But not even just that. People are just losing their fucking minds. Like, I could never see myself getting a line telling somebody to off themselves because of something they did on a reality TV show. Bitch, I
Yeah,
don't care.
that's fucking insane. That's
Like, I
crazy.
would rather, I think that the best, people don't realize this, the power of silence will kill somebody before you saying something to them.
Big
If you do not
facts.
engage, somebody posts and they get no engagement, they're gonna fall out. They're gonna fall out
If they're
versus
smart,
Yeah.
they'll
you
delete
saying
it.
something.
If they're smart,
Yeah.
they'll delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't understand the power of silence. It is, I mean, I move in silence all the time. Nobody knows what's going on with me till they ask.
And that's
Exactly.
something you can just
Exactly.
apply to like everyday real life too, like weird microaggressions at work. Just okay. I
Oh
hate
hell!
that we're
No! At work, you gotta get fired.
You gotta get in
no.
them. You gotta get in
Can't
the
do that.
ass.
Can't do that, big dog.
No, we just had a
Can't do it.
situation at my job where they tried to like fire this black man because he said "say less," and they didn't know what it meant.
What they think it meant? Did they try to make it threatening?
That's why I was like, just look it
mean,
up.
like,
and
shut up.
No, like say
no,
less.
that's what they took it as. It's
Okay.
it was non-black people, and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't know what that means." Like, and my
Because
boss
I don't
was like,
believe that.
my boss
I
was
don't
like,
believe
"Look it
that.
up, Google it. If you don't know what it means, Google it." And then also, what's the context of the conversation? You asked him to do something, and he said, "Say less," and then he did it. So he was following the rules. But yeah, they tried to fire him, and we were not having it. So
Why are we having more poignant messages in this movie? We gotta chill out.
Are we writing Tales from the Hood 4? Because there is a third one going.
I saw.
Don't be yelling.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so here, this is when we need to get back to the story, and this is when it starts getting fucking racist.
Yeah, so they're looking around the museum because she wants to get the doll, and Philip and I don't know why Philip and Zoe decide to do this. Yeah, Philip and Zoe decide to do this race play where
they don't decide. First, Philip says, "Ooh, look at that whipping post," and Zoe says, "A what? You know, whipping post. You know, if I was your master, I'd tie you up and punish your pretty black ass for not obeying my every perverted white man wishes and desires." And I thought she was gonna be like, you know, hit him and be like, "Knock it off, crazy," and you know, take it as a joke. This fucking bitch goes and wraps herself around that whipping post. I'm like, ooh.
And I hate that I saw 12
I'm so
Years of a
scared,
Slave.
Big Daddy.
Because this made me think of the Lupita scene in 12 Years of a Slave. And I was like, there's just such disrespect to, like, imagine dying. See how that is funny. Imagine like dying in slavery like 400 years ago, and then your ancestors playing. Like, it's just
what I mean,
yeah, no,
everybody
you're right.
likes the occasional slap on the ass, but
no,
like
we know what they're doing though.
That's different than getting a whip and pretending that. Okay, I just
let me. I know you mentioned there. Is the director, screenwriter? Is this production team black? Yeah, this is crazy, yo.
The creator is a black guy. You remember the first movie, the second segment with what was his name? The little boy getting beat up by David Allen Greer.
Ahmad from Soul Food. Yeah.
The teacher.
That's all I know.
Michael Jordan.
The teacher that came to help him is the guy that created this, is the guy that wrote this. It is a black man.
Yeah, that don't sit right with me because these jokes are not. First one I think is a great movie personally, but this one is just like pure coonery bullshit.
Yeah.
Through and through. Like, it's not funny.
So Audrey finds the gollywog. It's still in the glass case, and she can't open it, so she takes the entire thing with her. And we see these two idiots still having race role play, and he actually takes a whip and cracks it on the ground. And I was cringing. I was so upset. I still wanted to pull that Yaki ponytail out and choke her with it. You know, like fucking off with their heads, both of them. So Audrey, This part was funny though. So when he cracked the whips, I'm not sure what happened, but somehow the post came back on Zoe and she falls straight back like timber.
Like, help me, get it off me.
And Audrey breaks the glass case with the gollywog in it. Mm-hmm. So they help get the whipping post off of Zoe, and she's looking around for the doll. Audrey's looking around for the doll. She's like, gollywog, where are you? Oh my goodness. And Philip finds a book called The Three Gollies. I think at this point, Zoe finally realized for just a second how insensitive she had been when she started reading the book aloud.
You mean when he started reading it aloud?
Wait. No. She read the first book. He read the second book. It was 2 books.
The Nog.
Yeah, Nig and Nog. Yeah.
A Nig and Nog, wake up gollywog. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she reads the first book about the golly trio going into the woods. I was so upset. Mm-hmm. And then he finds another book called Gollywog Goes to Hell. And I think this is the spell or the incantation. It's the Ade Due Dambala that brings the Gollywog to life. And it is a Nig, a Nog, wake up Gollywog, make some golly fun, and then go back to sleep again. So I'm like, okay, this is what did it. So this part was kind of stupid. Audrey finds a doll and she's holding it, and Philip looks at her and is like, hey, you're bleeding. And she's like, oh, it's not me. He's like, oh my God, it's the doll. And he picks it and throws it. Why would his first instinct to think that it was the doll bleeding? I was so confused. So he throws the doll, and the doll
becomes, I don't know, honey, I blew up the kid. Because it just became a life-size doll. And
it was like 6'6",
Yeah.
Looking for a man in finance.
So this part was, well, you know what? Go a little bit further, and then I'm going to say what I think of the doll.
To the viewers, Jay is drinking.
What do you mean I'm drinking? I'm drinking water. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I drink water too. Yeah, okay, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where did
water
that come from?
Water out of a Patron bottle. Anyway, we're just trying to establish that you're drunk, and so
this is like a tea cup, or like a mug.
Right. Alcoholics do use it. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
First
step. I had thoughts about the doll. I had thoughts about the doll. Basically, that
oh my God.
Is this doll him, the curator, or is it like a sentient being that's just turned?
Because I think it's a spirit, because he mentioned earlier why it was encased in the glass. It's holding, 100 years of oppression, racism. I think it's everybody that's been oppressed. Their spirit is in this doll. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, which you can't relate to, Jay, just because Tiffy and I are like Black Americans, and you are a Tyson Chicken McNugget. So we do want to be sensitive to your struggle as well, because your people are put in like grease and ovens. And toasters.
Podcasts about just unnecessary racism. You just basically called my ethnicity a piece of fried chicken.
No, Jay, you did that.
You can't do that. No, you're not going to talk to me with your Cameron TLC creep pajamas on like this. Watch your mouth. I'm trying to. Here with the silk. Like, what are we doing?
I'm just trying to be. You said you were Tyson Chicken McNuggets, so I'm just trying to respect that. That's all I'm trying to do. And we have to respect the fact that Tyson Chicken McNuggets do go through it.
Anywho, I thought, okay, this is definitely not the guy. I eventually reach the point where this is definitely a sentient being, because when he's whipping the kid, his upside down smile turns into like happy face with like these like just rotten teeth. I was like, oh, what's happening right now? But I wasn't sure if it was like the curator. He came down to just like kill the burglars or whatever.
Well, we know it wasn't him because of what happens next. So,
he kills Zoe. Yeah,
kills Zoe, and we're very happy about that. I didn't like it that he kills her first, but okay. And then she
should have gone first.
He takes his whip and he whips Philip to death. And when I say he whips him to death, he whips him until he's bloody. He whips him to his organs begin to come out, his small intestines, his chest. It looks very much like a Mortal Kombat fatality. like just
Yeah.
blood and gore. And then Audrey just jumps. And she's like, golly, you don't have to be this way. We always loved you. Titty. And then he starts, it's like he's about to whip her again, but then, that white woman charm.
What was it? You know what a white woman, an undercover brother? Black man's kryptonite.
Yes. So, yeah, and so they start making out. I don't know how. He starts grabbing her ass and shit. And then nights, days, months, years pass. Nights, days, and months pass. And she's in bed. She's pregnant with the Golly Doll's child. And she's about to die. The curator is there. He has her wrapped in a tarp. And she's just like, I don't care if I die. I just want to make sure my babies are okay. I need to go to the hospital.
For the sake of this baby, I should deliver in a hospital. Like, bitch, this is some terrible acting. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And he's like, no, we're not going to do that. And so she begins to give birth. And why does it turn into Alien? And she starts giving birth to many dolls. Like, they just start busting out of her stomach. Not her vagina, but her stomach. That's how childbirth sounds. And that
I would hello.
I don't even know how he's gonna make anything out of it. I have no idea what's going on right now. Jay is terrible.
Okay.
And so she dies. And that's it.
What were those things that were coming out of her? What was that supposed to be? Baby gollies? Thousands of them?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. This is, man.
It's like when a seahorse gives birth.
Oh,
right. See, there is a sound made when you're kidding.
Wait, what?
That's how it looks. It looks like they're. Oh God,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Like they inhale your and then they push really hard. They inhale and push.
Hold on, roll your tongue.
Pump it.
Jay, roll your tongue.
I don't know how to roll my tongue.
You don't know how to roll your tongue?
He's not a cat woman.
You're dancing on the clit. Please stop.
Can't fucking do it, bro.
Head game trash.
Floyd has a quote at the end.
Right.
It says, fucking white women. Floyd has a quote after Audrey dies. Fucking white women and having babies? How dare they call you a stereotype? You're just a creation they designed you to be. I have a lot to say about.
I don't think we should. I feel like if we do, we're going to get punished.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out what the message was outside of don't have racist friends. I don't know what the message was of that one.
I'm gonna go with just that. And don't steal. Don't try to steal anybody's anything. Yeah. Because we have to leave it at that. But we will rate at the end. So we skip back to Mr. Dumas, Mr. Beach, and he's like, "Oh, I really enjoyed that story. But do you have any stories from a criminal standpoint?" And Mr. Sims like, "Yeah, I got a story about gangsters." And this is my favorite.
Of course he fucking is.
Oh my God. So this one's called The Medium. The Medium.
Oh yeah. And so we have
You're just mad because he didn't speak in a Jamaican accent. That's all.
That's why I'm mad, man. And so we have 3 gangster men and they're beating up another Negro. And they're trying to basically find his stash of money. Shmoney. He's like this. He used to be this big time, drug dealer. And I'm sorry. Yeah, he was a pimp.
This is her favorite segment. She got it on lock. He was a pimp.
And Cliff was a pimp.
Turned philanthropist. Yeah.
So they're trying to beat it out of him. And Cliff is like, I'm not giving you the money. I'm a legitimate businessman. I am no longer pimping. I use that money to establish 2 magnet schools, several workplaces, to give jobs and sponsor the kids, and improve life for the next generation. And the guy is like, well, I don't give a fuck about that United Negro College Fund.
Terrible.
They don't care. So he's fucked them kids, they can come work for me if they want to. I can, and I was like,
I put them on the motherfucking corner.
I started thinking about the Wire.
Dope with a Rona. Hey. Oh, sorry.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry? So I do appreciate this part, and I do have the quotes. This is what I do.
Oh,
so Cliff acts like he's gonna talk. He's like, you know that sorry ass whole house I used to run on 7th? On the top floor, all the way in the back, I got the nastiest crack hoe in the city.
Mm-hmm.
No pride at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor is, animal control uses her blood to put down rabid dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, who was one of our gangsters, says, so what about her? And Cliff says, that's your mama. I hid the money in a snatch.
Yo, why do you like this shit?
It is so funny.
You did this.
So
you know
funny.
what? You did this same thing with the quotes and the dialogue with Dead Heist, like verbatim, and you put a little sauce on the voiceover, like.
Oh, just
why?
wait! I'm not done with this movie. I'm not
You
done with
got
this
it.
segment.
You
I
got
don't
it.
have any quotes after this. I don't have any quotes after this segment
That's so
because
sad.
it went down. I feel like we were on a roller coaster. It was like, and then we died. Watching this movie. So, you know, they hit him and they step off. So, Brian and Gore.
Just go with it. No.
Brian and Gore step off and they're talking about, you know, what they can do to get him to talk. So they decide to kidnap his woman Sandra. And like, okay, this is a good idea. We can get him to yes.
Sandra, by the way, I just have to get her description because she is a bitch who ain't even a hoe. I just had to throw that out there.
Because she's the lounge singer. But I mean, he said he got his life back together, so
Yeah.
he should be dating someone on the up and up, not a 3
It was the acting was terrible. Like even when the other guy was laughing, I was like, he's laughing like he's acting. Like he was,
but
man.
They were not acting in this next scene where you see Cliff and just Booze. So Cliff just starts laughing maniacally, and Booze, being the insecure DL thug lover that he is, he's like, DL thug lover. I know you know what that's from.
I know exactly what that's from. Why the fuck are you bringing that up? Don't bring that shit over here.
What is DL thug lover?
He's quoting fucking Noah's Ark.
Noah's
I hate
Ark.
you.
Noah's Ark.
It's a TV show. We'll explain later.
ARC.
Okay.
ARC.
Okay.
ARC.
Okay.
Alex
Whoa.
with the insurance.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
So anywho,
Damn you.
So Booze is like, what's so funny? And Cliff says, oh, you think you so bad now? Well, you weren't so hard up in Quentin. I heard Bobby Sanchez was digging up in your ass on the regular.
That was I do remember when he said that shit. That was crazy.
The delivery.
Was wild. Yeah.
The delivery. Then he called him a bitch and spit on him.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery was amazing. And you know, because Booze is actually a DL guy instead of living in his truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do. So he hits Cliff really hard, and it just kills Cliff. I think if all gay guys would stop dealing with DL guys, you would see a drastic shift just in the environment. I don't know how that shift would go.
No,
but it would be something very different.
There y'all go. Y'all dropping more knowledge, more messages. I'm telling y'all doing way more work than this movie did. Like
Bobby Sanchez was digging up in his ass.
Okay.
I don't like that line.
A lot of shit go down in San Quentin, baby. So we end the scene. Well, the guys are just trying to think of a new plan of what they can do. Since Cliff is now dead, they have no idea of what to do to find the money. We skip over to a phony TV psychic named John Lloyd. And how his stick works is he has hidden microphones in the audience and he can hear people's conversations. And that's where he takes what they're saying and he creates his persona when he goes out on stage to say, oh, I'm so-and-so calling from beyond the grave. So he goes and he hears a story about Susan and her dead husband, Frank. And Frank must have been cheating in Dallas. So he gets up to the stage. He calls Susan's crazy ass up. And he does some, act like he's being possessed by Frank. And he's like,
he owed him a fucking Brown. Get the fuck out.
Susan, it's me, Frank. And Susan's like, Frank. He's like, yeah, you got something you want to talk to me about that night in Dallas? I don't know why he said Dallas like that. About that night in Dallas, when the lady answered the phone, it was just the maid, Susan. Frank was fucking somebody else.
Yeah.
The maid ain't gonna pick the phone up, baby. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. They got their own phones. They got a walkie-talkie or some shit. Frank was cheating. He did something nice to let Susan, be cool with it. I don't know, but anywho, so that we see that Gore, that's his favorite TV show. So he's watching Frank or John Lloyd, and that's his favorite TV show. So he's like, we're gonna use him to summon Cliff, and we're gonna get this $5 million. And the way they figure that they could do it is they kidnap Sandra, and they bring her over to Lloyd's house. So we see Lloyd in this big schnazzy ugly house, and he's got his Hugh Hefner robe on, and the doorbell rings, and Sandra's sitting there with her Charlotte Russe dress, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Lloyd, I'm the biggest fan."
Sandra was looking good too. She was looking good.
That dress was trash, but she was a very pretty woman.
Cool. I'm mad at the dress.
You don't know.
He's a straight man.
So sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's something, and it's not good, but that's something. So you can't do that.
And John Lloyd is like, "Oh shit, I got a big fan here. I'm about to get me some." He turns around and checks his breath. Like, if she really wanted you, she wouldn't care what your breath felt like. Sorry.
Pierre's getting sick.
Let me put it this way. If she wanted money, she's not going to tell you something is bad about you. She's not going to tell you something is bad. You perfect in her eyes, baby.
Okay.
So he turns back around and the goons are there. Brian Gore and Booze are there at the door. They have guns. So we cut the scene and they're all sitting down on the couch.
There ain't no more water left in that motherfucking cup. If you drink another sip, I swear to God. Why? Because I'm tired of him pretending. You done took.
I'm not pretending, bro. What you doing? I've been drinking water this whole time.
That looked like a gas can.
That's a gallon of water. This is water. I've been drinking water. Don't do me. You're not about to put that on my jacket.
Why do you have that?
Excuse me.
You're not about to do it.
That is tequila. Come on.
This is water.
Okay.
They sell gas bottles of tequila. Gas
from Whole Foods. Yes.
You are a menace to society. Like what?
What you? You're not about to put that alcohol on me, bro. I've been drinking water.
Oh,
hey.
My God.
I want
Polly Pocket. Wrap it up. All right. So they tell John Lloyd the story about how they want him to channel Cliff, and John's like, "Well, what if I'm not psychic?" And Brian's like, "Well, I mean, we could just kill you and rob you, so it's not a total loss." And he's like, "Shit, I got to do something about this." I was like, you know what? Brian is smart.
Right.
Probably the best actor in the whole series, the whole show, besides Keith David. John Lloyd excuses himself to go to the restroom, and he's like slapping himself in his face, like, You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I convince, middle-aged women every day that I'm psychic. I gotta pull something out of my ass to try to figure out what we can do, because they're not gonna let me go.
Hold up. Nah. Because Scream 4, you was OD horny on that episode. You do
no. What?
There was this segment that had nothing to do with them anal beads. What are you doing?
What? Scream 4? No, you are making things up.
Scream 4, you was on some salacious shit.
You are gaslighting.
Where did anal beads come from?
She said pull something out of his ass.
I did say that, but I didn't mean it like that. Okay, so they decide to have a seance. So we have all of them sitting around a table with some candles, and John Lloyd tells them to count down from 12, and then Cliff should possess his body. And then we have a 30-second countdown from the number 12. So he's like, 12, 11. So when he gets to 3, when he gets to number 3, he starts shaking uncontrollably, and he jumps up as Latasha, and he's like, "How dare you fucking kill me, motherfucker? How did you do this to me?" And I can't remember which one, but Boo's like, "Latasha, is that you?" And then he turns into someone named Marvin, and then someone named Sammy the Shark. He's like, "Forget about it." I hated that part. Do people really say that like over and over?
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
That's like some Goodfellas type shit. Nobody's doing that. Not even the Sopranos.
I need to watch
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, he is being possessed by all of the spirits that the gangsters killed unjustly.
Right. Right.
And then Brian shouts out, we're not here to talk to you motherfuckers, we're here to talk to Cliff. And then he slams on the table, and then my favorite line, I can't believe you motherfuckers had the nerve to bring me back. And Sandra's like, Cliff, is that you? He's like, yeah, baby, it's me.
Tiffany,
I don't care what you think.
Humanity.
This is why, because of people like you, I am looking for people that really enjoy me for me. So, so Cliff is now here. Booze grabs Sandra, threatening to kill her, and somehow Cliff has powers and he automatically knows how to use them. Who knows? But Booze's gun doesn't work, and he telekinetically moves the table and kills Booze by twisting his head around. Booze is dead. He kills Gore by forcing him to swallow glass while saying, people who eat glass in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Girl, what?
They were trying to... The writer thought that was clever.
Trash.
The writer thought
that was not good. That was not good.
So
Brian tries to hold him off with a cross, and he convinced him that, you should be
vampire.
He was like, you should be fine. You got a new body now. You got a rich white man. And the stereotypical answer, he's like, yeah, my dick was bigger when I was black. When did he have time to check?
I mean,
when did he check?
You can feel it.
Wait,
what if he's a grower, not a shower? It's probably different, right?
Yeah.
Anywho,
it's cold outside. Cold outside.
Not now. It's hot as fuck. So, he kills Brian by electrocuting him with 500 volts of wires from the chandelier, and then we're back at the show. John Cliff is what I'm calling him now. He comes out with his first lady, Sandra, and now he's an actual psychic. And he says, sit down, sit your ass down. I am the man who gets paid because I can really talk to dead people. Now, which one of you motherfuckers want to go first?
So he turned into Aquafina. Get the fuck out of my face.
So we skip back. Mr. Dumas likes that story even better, stating it's something that Robo Patriot can learn from. I don't know how.
I don't know. Is the message don't steal or don't kill? Don't steal, don't kill. Okay. I mean,
so while Sims noticed that Beach sexually harasses the women on the team that are working with the robot, and Kelly, who is one of his lackeys, mentions that he does it to her as well. But she's basically learned to ignore it. But because she believes in the overall mission of American safety. And I'm like,
Man, it was a full-on assault rope.
Yeah.
He took a good chunk of cheek and he was digging up in that ass. It was out of pocket. It was crazy.
I just don't understand how you can put aside how you feel about something that strongly for the American safety. Like,
MAGA.
How is this not safe? Yeah.
The women of MAGA. Grab by the pussy. But and I feel like that's what I feel like that was what they were trying to give off. Grab by the pussy.
Yeah, because this came out in 2018. This is when that thing was in office. That thing. And Mr. Sims says the next story. In this story, what the fuck?
I hated this fucking story. I hated. Ugh!
I think I only have
Did
3
I take
lines
it from
of
here?
notes. So wait,
I didn't take any notes.
Oh, this one is entitled Date Night.
Oh, Jake, take it from here then, since you were bad.
You gotta read first time? Let's go. Let me sit up straight for all 10 minutes of this bum ass story.
Wait, you're sitting?
I am sitting.
Oh, thank
God.
Okay. Damn, I know.
I am a short king, but I am sitting. I am sitting this time.
Wait, how?
Who came up with that phrase, short king? They can go to.
Oh no, I'm 5'7". I'm short.
Oh, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm short.
Guess what, guys? I'm 5'6.5".
Date night. So
Lion.
we start off with.
I got the names if you need them.
No, I got it on lock. Don't worry about it. Kahad and Ty. Ty's the white man. Kahad's the light-skinned brother with the braids. Somewhat with the locks. two somewhat cringy but still unsuspecting young men about to go out, about to meet up with two chicks that they met offline on Tinder. Basically, they're going to their house, gonna have a little game night. According to Ty, these chicks are aspiring actresses, and that he fed them a story that they too are also in the movie business or whatever. So naturally, they're pulling up to this mini mansion. And Kahad's he's a little hype. He's like, ooh, what'd you tell him about me? And then some lame ass joke, blah, 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 blah. Pull up to the mansion. We find two very attractive young ladies. We did see them in the video.
Way the fuck out of their league. Way the fuck out.
Way out of their league.
Wait, really? For Kahad? Oh, okay.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Kahad?
Not a gay male.
I thought that he was attractive.
Kahad looked like a Vampire Diaries reject.
There weren't a lot of black people in Vampire Diaries or originals. Marcel, maybe.
Hey,
Bonnie.
I saw that guy one time. I don't know.
Are you fucking?
Let me tell you a story. This is a funny story.
Is Charles Michael Davis? That's his name.
Okay, so I was in New York City. And I went to a Broadway show. This was when I was married, and we were walking from the show. And he walks by, and I was like, I looked at him. He looked at me. He smiled. He thought like I was going to recognize him. And I was like, and I reached out to the ex. This is why he's an ex. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, you know, that guy's like, let's go. We got to get out of here. And I was just like, oh, okay. So we left and I got back and I talked to my friends. I was like, hey, what's that light-skinned guy's name I thought he was in the Tyler Perry movies. I didn't watch any of those shows, but he was very familiar to me. And I was like, no, maybe a CW show. And they posted a picture. I was like, yes, that's him. Very attractive. He looks just like that in person, mind you. He wanted me to ask him for his name, autograph, photo, phone number. Yeah. I don't know, to have his first child. He wanted me to ask him these things. I'm going with that. So
he's black and Filipino. And you do so.
He's just like Blasian. Yeah.
You have a chance.
He's very, very attractive.
But Tiffany, I have a fun fact about him.
Hold on. I'm not done with my story. So I was like, I went to the ex and I was like, hey, remember that time in New York and you were being an asshole because he had to leave? He's like, yeah, what about it? I said, remember I told you this guy? He's like, yeah. It's like, this is the guy that I saw. And I showed the picture and he was like, what? I love that show. Blah, blah. I said, yeah, if you weren't being a dick, you know, you could have got his autograph or talked to him, got a photo with him, but you were being an ass. And I didn't know where I knew him from. But yes, very beautiful man. Saw him in person. Walked past him. There was nobody around. It was like the three of us on a street in New York. I missed my opportunity because I was trying to be a doting wife.
You saw him a long time ago.
Never again,
because he was on Noah's Ark too.
Who was he?
I gotta find out what Noah's Ark is.
He was
on
a
gay show.
Yeah, it's a gay show. He was on he was like on the third episode when Ricky was trying to find a new sales worker. And he was one of the guys he was interviewing. Yes. He was like,
I can't hire him because I'll fuck him. Yes, I remember. I remember. Yeah. That store was shit. Yes, I remember.
He hasn't been in much of anything else. I feel like
he's in some propaganda show I'm not watching.
Okay. Yeah. He's actually a good actor. Like
he is. So I'm glad he's working. But
yeah.
No. He Jay, you watch the original?
Dude, I am
very
for any vampire related type of property, I'm locked in. Buffy, Angel, everything.
Shameless plug. Interview with the Vampire will be on Netflix August 19th.
I'm locked in. Yeah. I'm locked in. So, and this is a fitting topic for this segment, but don't want to jump ahead all 10 minutes. Anywho,
get on the cringy ass
short.
Shit.
It's a super short segment for some odd reason. So the guys pull up, God and Ty, to this mini mansion where the girls are staying. I forget if they said whose house it was between the two, but Carmen and Liz.
Theirs. They just said
theirs. Yeah. So Liz, the Asian one, Carmen, the light-skinned beauty. They go in, they're already the rapport is just it's hot.
They're ready.
Kissing,
they're ready.
It's ready. It's about to go down.
Kiss me on my neck and it's on.
Yes. You can't do that off the rip though. Kiss on the neck. charged for doing some shit like that. But that's how they're giving it up. That's how they're giving it up. So, they make way to the living room, They bust out Cards Against Humanity, cringy jokes,
They
cringy
played
game.
3 rounds of Cards Against Humanity incorrectly, mind you. I was like, this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
This is too
It was
Yeah.
very. I was like, this is not how it's supposed to work. I played it before, and it's actually very fun. But it's like they're not
it
doing
gets
it.
old fast though too.
It gets old. You can get like a few rounds and like, all right, somebody get the Uno deck.
Y'all gotta get the theme. Y'all gotta get a theme.
Exactly. So they're making a little sexual jokes, bleached assholes.
Hell nah. Hold up. Sorry, but hell nah. Cause for that black man sit up there and talking about, oh, I'll show with the Schmeagle. Or what is it?
The smegma.
Yeah. He's talking about, I'll show you later. Get the
that was
fuck
sick.
Out of my, get the
that
fuck
was
out of my face.
I'm trying to remember what that is.
The dick cheese.
I think it's if you have like foreskin and you don't clean yourself properly.
Yeah. So it's like
that white. It sounds stinky.
Yeah, white and frothy and shit.
And he's like, hey, I got some curled up right now. Like I'll show you. He was bugging the fuck out.
No guy would, no straight man would say that on a date with a
hell
come
no.
on now. I'll show you later. Like, oh, okay. Like, put it on my popcorn. Like, what the fuck? Like,
stop. I'm about to throw up.
Yeah, you need to Google it and see what it looks like.
So now they're starting, the guys, Ty specifically, is starting to make drinks. And now the okie doke, if you want to call it that for general viewers, is that our protagonists are actually antagonists / predators, creeps. Ty is mixing in some type of roofie or drug or whatever to knock the girls out. And Kahad is clearly in on it. That comes a little bit later. But so yeah, he provides the vodka tonic.
Oh yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
It's like 10 seconds later.
Literally, this whole segment is 10 minutes. I don't know what later is. But so
when they drink, so the girls drink the drinks and they say, "Oh, it kind of tastes funny," and then Kahad's like,
Literally, yeah. So that was the later, right there. He's a fucking creep.
I didn't catch it at that point. I caught it when
you didn't.
He was carrying him up.
Yeah, when in the music got super like just boom. It just got really moody. Like, this is fucking sick. These guys are sexual predators, and I don't know about y'all, but in general, I just don't like sexual assault stuff in the movies. Like, I understand if I'm watching like SVU or just anything, or if I'm reading like a news article, it's digestible. I get it. It's a horrifying thing. But when it's like in something where I kind of want to suspend disbelief, I just don't want to see that shit. I don't want it implied. I just don't. It's just
listen to the podcast. I hate those things. Like,
it never sits right with me. I mean. And I'm just like,
it makes you believe. Well, I believe now because I didn't know. I always thought that rape was about sexual pleasure, but it's about control, and that's just these points are proven to you because these women were hot and fucking ready for these guys, and they still had to take advantage of them. What they still could have said no, which is understandable, but the way they were going about the night, how close they were, how they were being, you would think these girls want us.
Yeah. I
don't know why they went to that level, but I guess it's because for video purposes or whatever.
Yeah, they were trying. That was the point to.
But
they
how
like
can
to
you
videotape this shit too?
How can you enjoy sex when the person is not into it?
Just sleazy, nasty ass dudes. I'm talking. They got their little iPad and a tripod ready to go. I'm fucking Ty, white man. You catch a quick little 5-second glimpse when they finally transition to the girls in the bed, just in their undergarments. Ty is sniffing one of the girls' pants. I'm just like, oh shit, I can't watch this shit. And I think it was still Ty. He kind of kissed the inner thigh of another one of the girls or whatever. I'm just like, this is just too fucking much. And then Turns out he's not even the freakier of the two. Kahad's over there with the tripod setting up. Ooh, I bet these chicks are into some BDSM and some ropes and shit. Let me go find it. And then Ty called him out. I'm like, hey, you want to go beat some unconscious woman? And he's like, nah, that's too much, right? It was just
let's just rape him though. Like that's literally what he said. That's
crazy. I hated everything about this.
But they've done this more than once too. So
yeah,
clearly they reference Illa, or they reference some other girl that they definitely have done this before. They're serial rapists, predators, every bad thing you can call them. These guys are it. So I finished setting up the camera setup, the iPad and the tripod, and he looks through the viewer or whatever. And he's like, hold up, what the fuck? He just sees the undergarments or whatever. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, clearly you're like, okay, these chicks are like vampires or something. The thing about this, taking it off of the whole plot line, is that any other time we've seen this whole trick or trope in like a vampire property or whatever, usually it'll just cut to a reflection and everything's gone. I like that the movie did establish that no, clothes can't just fucking disappear. Like, clothes are clothes, vampires are vampires, or whatever. So they did that, whoop-de-whoop, and then hey, yo, Ty, come over here, check this out. And then Ty looks up and then they look up and then bam, both chicks are off. They're standing up on the bed, full vampire mode, nothing too crazy, just vampire fangs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kahad's like, oh shit, these are a real thing he apparently knows about. Oh shit, these chicks are vampires or whatever. So instantly they just kind of immediately go into like morphin time fighting stance or whatever. It's just
let's turn into the Black Ranger. What was that?
Exactly.
What
just
was
immediate
that? Pterodactyl.
Exactly. Just pass it on. Or whatever.
Mastodon. What the fuck? I still don't even know what a mastodon is.
It's basically an old elephant.
Like with the horns. Yeah, woolly mammoth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was the Black Rangers. Yeah. So yeah, they do that in all of like 2 seconds. These chicks just destroy both of these. They kick them through the fucking bedroom door. They get up. They're already getting bitten. Like, it was just like, what the fuck or whatever. So these two chicks, this is their thing. They've clearly have done this a time or two and just fucking destroys these two guys. Another 2 seconds goes by because, like I said, this segment is fucking clockwork. These guys wake up in some fucking medieval dungeon underneath the LA mansion, and they're surrounded by just fucking fanged out dudes in prison or whatever. And then you got the girls, they're like, oh, no. Yeah, like you, we're also predators for like no good guys, but every now and then we're unable to kill them, and some of them just turn, but we don't like to cut them loose. We just want them to suffer down there of like bloodthirst or whatever. And then
I'm not mad at it.
The guys come out, the previous victims of the girls, and they have their way with Ty and Kamad, and
and they show them how far a fist can go up an asshole. And so
all the way to the elbow, baby.
Yeah, it was a short segment. There was no real message, in my opinion.
Well, you know the message, Mr. Dumas says. The message is, boys will be boys.
Oh,
they gotta be boys first before they're men.
We've seen this trope done way better. Obviously in recent memory with Abigail, but taking it back to another anthology series, Trick or Treat. We saw like a vampire like predator dude kind of walking around the town in the and then we got Sookie Stackhouse and a pack of werewolf harlots. They just kind of come out of nowhere and they're like werewolves or whatever.
We reviewed this one. We reviewed that episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to say this is what I meant to say in the beginning. Oh my god, this is our 50th episode.
Oh, really?
Hey,
damn!
I'm kind of happy to be on this episode.
Right. I totally forgot. But yes, this is our 50th
yeah.
episode. It's our golden birthday.
Y'all are
Yeah,
moving
and we
that.
have
That's what's up.
reviewed Trick or Treats. If you'd like to go check that episode out, please scroll back a couple episodes. I don't know which one it was, but it's on this.
Girl, that was a while ago.
No, it was in April. April
really?
anthologies.
When April Anthology, yeah.
Okay.
That was a good month.
So-
Didn't y'all do Tales from the Hood 1 for April anthologies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Dumas, again, he said he likes the story. He thinks that their actions where boys would be boys. So, Mr. Sim asked Kelly, he's like, do you feel that way too? And she's like, well, I gotta get paid.
Girl.
So Mr. Sim says, all right, well, do you have time for one more story? And we go to the by far the worst story,
I'm so fucking mad.
which is called The Sacrifice. And it
wasn't
took me a
good.
while
No.
to get through this. It took me a while because, I'm over here fast forwarding the Emmett Till scenes. Yeah, so in 1955, a young Emmett Till
I didn't even catch
beaten and
that.
lynched, is brutally beaten and lynched for speaking to a white girl in Money, Mississippi. We all have heard the story. So in present day, we see this interracial couple. They're expecting a child, and they had a miscarriage the previous year. The mother is the white lady. Her name is Emily, and she keeps having dreams of Emmett Till, and
Yeah.
he's telling her that he is not sure that they deserve this child, and she fears that Emmett may take her baby away.
Mhm.
I don't know. I need the Till family to trademark his name so they can't use his name in any movies moving forward. Unless they're just talking about his history, but I want no fake shit like this.
Yeah.
So the black father.
This felt like my friend Martin.
Bitch.
I swear, because I didn't get what was going on at first. I thought like I didn't get that was him until they they like the middle of the movie when they were like the middle of the segment where they were like the whistling part. That's what like
Yeah. This is the last property, if you want to call this shit that should have any access to like a real life. You know what I mean? Like this is not the one. No.
And so the father of the child is a councilman named Henry, black guy, and he
he's a fucking coon.
So he's campaigning. He wants to be the mayor of this town. He's campaigning, and his mother comes and lets him know that you shouldn't be doing this. You are supporting Colonel Sanders, and he basically wants to target voting locations in predominantly black districts, and he wants to close them down. So it limits people's access to getting to these polls to actually vote. And Henry is like, no, he wants to shut down Democratic polls. It's like, bitch, where do you think the majority of black people vote? We vote for the people, not for the corporations. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. So his mother is just like, you fucking idiot. Why did I raise you?
It reminded me of the first movie. You know what I mean? Like the last segment in the first movie. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Remember how, I mean, he wasn't campaigning with him, but remember he had the black guy who was helping him run for office.
Oh, yes, the doll one, the KKK come up. Yeah,
the doll one, yeah.
Yeah, so so basically the wife is basically losing her mind. We don't know what's going on with her because what she sees everybody else can't see. They call the doctor over, the doctor examines her, says she's fine, and to think good thoughts. I would be so pissed if I went to my doctor and he's like, "Oh, you're all right. Just think good thoughts." I would punch the fucking doctor in the face. Bitch, give me a sedative or something. Let me go to sleep. Give me some Xanax, something, help. Give me something. Nighttime sleepy tea, something. And Henry's holding a fundraiser in front of their house. They live on a plantation. And William Cotton is
Blake Lively.
William Cotton is the person that's trying to be, I guess, governor of the state.
Yeah.
And his mission is, let's take Mississippi back. From what?
Exactly. I'm like, y'all are always red. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Can y'all speak to, like, you two specifically, can y'all really speak to, like, what it was really like growing up down there? Like, from somebody that's from, let's just say, up north, I'll just make a generalization that it's just, like, perceived to be some real fire and brimstone, Mason-Dixie line racism type shit.
So
is it really like that?
The way I put it for people asking, think of any city. If you're from Virginia, think of the countryest city in Virginia. Your mind is automatically going to go to, oh, there are country bumpkins there. Where we're from in Mississippi, we're from the city. So it is progressive out there. There are, like I said, there were so many Asian people, so many white people, so many black people. So we honestly, where we're from, which is the coast of Mississippi, where all the casinos are, we cannot really speak on it. Like, you need to go like towards the Delta. You need to go north of where we went to college. That's where all like the country hick towns are. And it's always so funny when you're like, oh, Mississippi. And I'm like, yeah, you've never been there. You can't, you don't know where I'm from. Think of the country. I had a conversation with somebody when I used to live in Orlando. My God, I've lived everywhere. He said something about like, oh, you're from Mississippi. Y'all got like cows when you're driving to work. I said, bitch, I drove to work from Orlando today and I saw a fucking cow. Yeah. So it's like, it's everywhere. Right. It's everywhere. It's not. So we are from the city, even like New York. You automatically think New York City, so progressive, so diverse, but go maybe 50 miles north. You're not going to see that. So it's just think of us. We're from the city. Yeah.
Okay. However, there's still. I just never like to. I don't like to. I don't like to.
So I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah. I'm from a. So where I'm from, it's like she said.
I just thought about that.
It's definitely like she said, but it's like, because I mean, how are they far? 30 minutes apart? But it's just like,
yeah, it's like 30
the
minutes,
racism is still like, there's still racism. Like,
no, so
where I went to college, the county is Forest County, as in Nathan Bedford Forrest, as in the Grand Wizard of the KKK. Like, it's so it's not like.
I just thought about that. I went home in family reunion. Was it last year? Yes, I had a family reunion last year, and I went to go see a friend in Bay St. Louis. And there is an area where you guys have like the wharf. It's like kind of new, where they have like all those restaurants, those outside restaurants. Bitch, I took a left. I said, wait a minute, you want me to meet you where? It was so many MAGA flags just lined up down that pier. I said, excuse me. And my friend was like, yeah, girl, let's go get a daiquiri. I said, get your black ass over here and let's go. Like, what are we doing over here?
Well, that's where the daiquiri, that's downtown. And that's where the daiquiri shop is. But that's also, that's where the people who can afford the beach houses. Yeah. So it's,
So,
but like Tiffany said earlier, like, I don't know. I just kind of stayed on the black side of town. I don't know. Like where we are is just like a lot of black people and a lot of country white people. So it's just like.
Would you two say, my perception of you two, just based on, getting to know you over the past like few months, you guys are even more progressive within the black community, I would say.
Because we left.
Oh.
Damn, just like that.
I'm keeping it.
I don't want to be.
That's facts. When you become a transplant, I
don't want to be elitist and say because we went to college, but that may also have helped.
That
being
too.
Around different types of
people, cultures.
Yeah.
No, it's because we left, and it's because we have empathy. We can see. Just because I don't feel the pain doesn't mean that. Oh, what do you?
No, the only reason I'm going to say because we left, I just feel like we were. Well, I can't speak on you, but I just know. I don't know. I used to watch The Real World. I don't know. Like,
I definitely get that. When I left my hometown or what, a lot of people stay where I'm from originally. And yeah, I would say that I'm just a lot more progressive than, what I grew up in. And it does come from just like exposure and just getting out there, whatever. Not even on some travel the world type shit. I literally just moved 2 hours away. And it was just a complete culture shock.
But it's just living out in DC is just it's so diverse. Like, and I've lived there, so I have experienced that.
My move was to Richmond, Virginia. DC was like later in adult life, but you kind of, even though when I was in where I'm from or whatever, I was still an odd man out just based on the shit that I was into. It wasn't what my friends, black guy, blurred, horror, comic books.
You said horror. You were a whore? You said
horror.
Oh, okay.
Horror.
Okay.
There you go.
But it's just, I think
you're already just an odd man out.
It's just in you. It's just the type of personality that you have. That's why I feel like I personally can be friends with everyone. Do I prefer to have black friends? Yeah, because they know what I'm going through. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to have white friends. It doesn't mean that I don't want to have Asian friends, because I love to learn about different cultures as well.
100%.
It's learning and accepting. And that's what a lot of people cannot do. They just can't grasp it. If something is different from them, then it's wrong. And that's just I don't agree with it. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
that was a good question because I never really thought about that. How we're from Mississippi, but then
because they judge the fuck out of us.
Because I know
I
guarantee you I'm related to somebody who's like, Trump gave me $1,200.
But back to Emmett Till and them.
Girl.
Let's take Mississippi back. Somewhere I'll never move back to. I'll visit because I still have family there. But so he says he wants to take Mississippi back to its core values, and then he makes a joke to Henry saying, back in the day, you would have been the one serving us here. But things have changed. In this, like he contradicts himself. We want to take them back to its core values. We want to take it back. And back then you were serving us, but now things have changed. So it's like, what do you want, Mr. Cotton? What do you want?
Mr. Tate Reeves?
Who knows?
Yeah.
He keeps telling him, and now you're here with your very white wife. You got a very white wife. Like, he couldn't say that lady's name. Like, damn, bitch, she wanted you.
Mm-hmm. Not really, because she's an in-lover. But yeah. So things are getting really interesting at Henry's plantation, because his wife's visions are getting worse, and not only getting worse, but her baby bump is shrinking. And she's like, the baby's shrinking, and she can actually see Emmett Till's ghost. And everybody just thinks she's fucking crazy. So she's like, all right, look, call the doctor because the baby is shrinking at this point. And so his mom brings over some voodoo guy, and he starts talking to Emmett Till, and he's like, look, he wants you to come talk to him, and then he may, help your baby. And he's like, I ain't gonna talk to no fucking Emmett Till. So the doctor comes, and it's like, he's just already racist. Like, he's just like, boy, who the fuck, like, he just
he goes to so Henry goes to the door and he sees the doctor's there, and he put his hand on his shoulder. It's like, hey, Martin, I am Dr. So-and-so to you, boy. Like, he's just like,
fucking hands off me.
Okay, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, and then
that's what he wanted to say.
I'm leaving here with something. Yeah, that's very interesting, because they don't tell us they're about to do this shift. It just shifts.
Yeah, it just shifts.
It comes out of nowhere. And wait, so before that, so when the mom brings the old man to the house, his name is Gwinnett. I don't know. Oh, Gwinnett from Georgia. Okay. Anyway, so he brings him over and he tells Henry that he must change his vote, so that the voting locations are not closed. And Henry accuses his mother of bringing him over here and conspiring to get him to change it. So that's when the doctor comes over, and Henry's like, no, we can't lose another baby. We can't lose another baby. He said, yeah, I don't work for no fucking coloreds, and Negroes can't even own in this district. So he starts to leave, and this bitch Emily, I was so mad. He raped me. Oh my God, I was so angry.
Yeah.
She's
like, he raped me, he kidnapped me. And so she starts to leave he's like, the doctor is like trying to like take her with him. And so of course Henry's like, get your hands off my wife, you're not going with her. Like, I'm her husband. And this bitch, he fighting with the doctor. This bitch grabs a lamp and smacks him upside the head, talking about, don't you talk to a white man that way. And then
you only got one time. I'm not finna talk no sense into you. If she came down those stairs and told somebody that I raped her and that's why she's pregnant, I'm like, bitch, get your shit and go. So Gwinnett and the mom come back, and they tell Henry that he needs to talk to Emmett, damn it. And Henry's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see anybody. And Gwinnett grabs Henry and tell him, respect the sacrifices given you. And something happens, and he's able to see Emmett. Emmett shows up, and he tells him that because Henry is voting against this in the interest of his people, he's deciding that his horrific death he endured was for nothing. There's a lot I don't like about this, but
I don't like fucking anything about it. And so basically the premise is Emmett Till is given a second chance in the afterlife. He can go back and change his decision. I don't like how any of this is going, because it really deviates
like those motherfuckers would have let him go.
It deviates from the story. I don't like this. Like, they really needed to sue, honestly.
Trash segment.
Basically, there's this idea that if Emmett Till would have admitted to what he done and bowed to the white men who were going to kill him, that history would be rewritten. And, and there's this idea, they kept saying, I died for you. No, you didn't. None of these people died for any of us. They were murdered. And I feel like as a Black creator, you should have included that, and I don't like that he didn't. Like,
no, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna. I don't want to be that evil. Come on now.
The ghosts of our Black history icons all come up, like the 4 girls who died in the Salem, not the Salem,
the Sunday school church
that sparked off the Salem walk. And then
wait a second, that is a cool story. If we need to write that down, like Black girl Salem witch trial, that would be kind of fire.
There's something in the making right now about Black witches, or somebody's probably lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the guys from the I forgot the bus thing. I forgot what that was called when they killed the people on the bus. And Dr.
Medgar
King,
Evers, Dr.
Medgar
King.
Evers, all of them. So they just all show up in their ghosts, and they're like, "Well, we died for nothing. We died for nothing because you're gonna sit here and support this guy." And he's still not listening to him. He's still not having it until so reality starts warping as if Emmett Till did what he said he was going to do and just, beckon to the white men. And like they have the KKK patrol show up, and
the honky patrol.
Yeah, the doctor and his wife, she's like, "They're him. That's him. That's the guy who raped me." And, they're like, "What are you doing here?" And they started like grabbing him. They beat his mom.
Yo.
And they're taking him away, and they're about to, lock him up or kill him, whatever. And so he's like, all right. He somehow it's like they have him, and then they keep losing grip of him. And he runs to Emmett Till, and he's like, all right, I'll make the sacrifice. And Emmett's like, oh, well, bitch, this too late. Nah, now you got to die. Like, because basically all he had to do first was not campaign for the guy. Now he has to die. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know about that. So then they take him again. And so, and then like, take that nigger bitch too. And then he decides to go to Emmett Till and be like, all right.
Wait, you missed the line where she says she gonna kill his baby if he planted that seed in her. And
yes, she did say that. Yeah. Whew. That's when he decides to go to Emmett Till and be like, all right, I'll die. And so basically they just beat him up.
No, he asked for help for his he asked for help for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go up and say nothing about help my mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really upset about that.
That's usually how that works. And he dies, and Emmett Till makes the sacrifice. They have to show us him being beaten. I don't know why. And then, yeah, all is right with the world. I don't understand the point of this. I don't understand the point. It was very disrespectful.
So he's dead. Emily can't believe it. They're just looking at him. Nobody tries to do CPR. Nobody touches him. Nothing. Yeah. They just leave his black ass down in the dirt. Like, fuck him. He and Emmett disappear. And the mom is proud of her son. The worst.
It pissed me off.
We would have had to lose that baby. I'm sorry.
I think I want to kind of give like an alternative option for people looking for the Emmett Till story. Maybe not the entire story, but just the gist of it. But coupled with a fantastical element to it, I think they did it just brilliantly as Lovecraft Country. There was about I want to say like towards the latter half of the series or whatever, they just nailed it or whatever, and they kind of put like the whole fantastic. They did what this segment should have done, but like 10 times better or whatever, and still I would say respectful to the Emmett Till story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely Lovecraft Country for sure. Underrated show.
Underrated show should have been canceled. Yes. Yeah. So
that's the end of that Tiffany. Story. Yeah, wrap around Robo Hell, the ending. Woo!
Thank God.
So Mr. Dumas is like, I ain't like that story. I ain't like that at all. And I agree. Yeah. This is the smartest thing he said. I didn't like that bitch either.
Yeah.
So he's getting ready for his press conference, and Mr. Sims asks, can he join him? And somehow the word shit comes up again. He's like, the shit, the poppity pop, the boopity boop. I don't know what's going on with that. And they get to the press conference, and they show out the Robo Patriot. And it is a robot that can predict who will commit crimes against lawful American citizens. The Robo Patriot's kind of cute. I want one.
Girl.
He was so cute. So basically it can scan the NSA, the local police, the FBI, the CIA, and social media files to identify those who have committed criminal acts, but it can also predict activity to future to see if someone will commit crimes in the future. I'm like, is this Minority Report? Like, I can think about robbing a bank, but I probably won't. You know, I've thought about it a lot. I'm like, this would be cool, but that's not something I'm ever gonna do. So I don't agree with that. Anyway, so he turns on Robo Patriot. The Robo Patriot's like, detecting level 2 thieves. And the Robo Patriot tells them, get up out of here before I take American justice in my own hands. And everybody's like, oh shit. So people start getting up and leaving. He's like, oh, detecting illegal immigrants in the audience. And then you see all the Hispanic people stand up. Because like, why were they all Hispanic? You see them leave because they don't want to get shot up. So the robot looks over at Mr. Dumas Beach, and having all the stories stored in his mind from Mr. Sims and him just looking at Mr. Dumas, he sees, everybody in his cult is greedy, racist, misogynistic, so forth. So he sees them as an immediate threat to American civilization. So the robot kills the 2 lackeys because he's viewing them as accomplices. And it starts running after Beach. Beach runs outside. He does get shot by the laser, and he sees Mr. Sims pull up. He jumps in the car with Mr. Sims, and he belittles Mr. Sims for no reason, because Mr. Sims is like kind of laughing at him, and he's like, yeah, get me to the hospital, you motherfucking bitch. Like, why was he... It was interesting.
Yeah, like how Jay talks to me. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So he starts laughing, and he has his line that is not great. This ain't no joke. This ain't no car. I ain't no nigga. And your worthless soul is no longer alive. Welcome to hell, motherfucker. It's not as good as the first one.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
not.
Know you
Yeah, the first one, that was amazing.
Would you guys like me to do it again?
No, never. I never want you to do it again, ever.
You want to? Why not? 50th episode. Let's go.
Go ahead. Do it. Go do it. Do it,
You're
Dan.
mean.
Do it, Dan.
Where did you hide it, Dan? What does he say? This ain't no funeral home. It ain't the Terror Dome neither. Welcome to hell, motherfuckers.
I see.
Sorry, Q David. No Buki.
So
it reveals that Beach has died from his injury. He is in a coffin, and Sims is Satan. They're in hell, and the car becomes surrounded by flames. The demons drag Beach out while Sims is and there is a post credit. Did you guys see that?
No.
They make it that far.
It literally is right at the end. You see Sims still dressed up in his devil get up. By the way, that was a badass suit jacket he had on. Anyway, he says, now that was some shit. And the movie goes off.
Girl.
And I agree.
Wow.
The movie was shit. All right, so let's start with the first segment, which was called...
The Golly?
Yes. What are we rating Golly G?
Are we doing our new system yet or not yet?
I haven't really... I'll have it next time.
Okay. All right.
What are we rating Golly G?
4.
Out of 10? Okay. I actually am going to agree with that. Jay, please.
Am I? I would say 2 out of 10. There were some parts that I just felt. Why is that funny?
It's just...
I'm sorry. It was called Good Golly.
Good Golly. Okay.
Good Golly,
yeah,
Miss Marley.
2 out of 10. You know, it's still trash, but like I said, there were a couple points where I was like, oh, this is somewhat amusing or whatever. But yeah, 2 out of 10.
I didn't find it amusing at all. Yeah, you know what? 3.
Damn.
Yeah, I had to take it.
When the dog, the life-size doll came out of nowhere and it just went like really batshit crazy, I did like that part. Because I was like, whoa, the fuck is this?
Right.
And it's just
no idea
like
where it was going.
Yeah, it went just full like dark Django, like just. But yeah, 2 out of 10 for me. 2 out of 10. Yeah, the whipping scene.
All right, so the second one was the medium 10. Fuck all y'all.
Fuck out of my face.
I
I'll give
can't
it to
believe
medium.
you motherfuckers had the nerve to bring me back.
It was a little light on the racism, so I'll give it a 6. Like there was just very little, I guess because there was only one white person, well, a couple of white people in it, but yeah, it was very limited on the racism, so I'll give it a 6.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Besides the big old black dingaling.
I think it was a fair amount of racism in that segment, actually, especially what's I think what kind of overlooked in this episode, the black scent, the game show host or the psychic or whatever the fuck it was.
That's
just
why I called him Aquafina.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. He was possessed by him. It was Cliff's actual voice. So no, I don't agree with that. I mean, I guess
that was his actual voice.
Yes,
like that's if he was possessed by him, that would have been.
Yeah, that's why he was
I'm
talking
saying,
like that.
Did they do like a voiceover, or was that the
no?
white guy? That was the white guy doing the voice, right? That
but
was
he was
his.
supposed to be him. See, I didn't take it that way because of when all the other people possessed his body, his voice changed for all of them too.
Yeah, he did, and I didn't like
that's
it.
why
I didn't like it one bit. It made me uncomfortable. So I'm giving that nigga in that segment a 2 as well. It was trash. It was just kind of boring, actually. That segment was kind of just boring.
It was amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, the third segment, date night, 0.
0.
Less than 0. I'm gonna give it 2 piles of chitlins. That was just ass.
Wow.
Message. There was no meaning behind it.
Nope.
The acting sucked. The girls were very attractive. If there were points for that, but no, just god awful. It had no business being in this god awful movie as well. So 0 for me.
All right, bust a nut on some wheat bread. And so
what does that fucking mean? What does that mean? I'm not gonna let you just get that shit off.
Have you heard this name before?
No, what does that mean?
Neither have I. I'd like to know what that means too.
Yeah, you just can't say shit and think it's fly. What does that fucking mean, bro?
Why does it got to be wheat bread?
Yeah,
because with white bread you can't really see it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but what does it mean?
Okay. All right.
So next segment. What does it mean?
Next segment. I don't know, but man, we can make that shit hot if we get popular
the sacrifice.
Enough. Let's make some
1.
shirts. Oh, sacrifice?
1 for the line, very white wife. I thought that was funny.
I'll give it a 1. Why am I giving it a 1?
Like, I feel like it
I'll give it a 1 because it may give you
the path.
Yeah.
It was on the path, but it detoured.
I'll give it a 1
and then
just
it rolled
because there's
over the hill and landed in a pond.
The 1 is because you may Google these people and actually learn some history. There's a chance.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's
true.
1.
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1 as well. They were definitely trying. I think out of all of the segments, they were definitely trying, but I want to say it didn't stick to landing, but I don't even think it took off the runway. It's just there, you know.
The baby is shrinking.
Yeah,
it's just there, like the grays in your beard. So yeah, we're gonna
I do have grays in my beard. I didn't know they were coming in so clearly though, but I'm looking forward to the black and white, you know.
Salt and pepper's in right now.
The salt and pepper look. Yeah, if I got good skin with the gray beard, I'm okay with that. So yeah.
Yes, Tyson living proudly. So yeah.
What's this called?
I don't know.
That part.
I really don't know.
What do they call it, like a soul patch or a porn stash? Yeah. But like when they
porn stash.
The porn stash is when you have the mustache.
It's when the guys just have that part. They don't have the nothing else. Yeah. I never really do anything with that part, but yeah. Okay.
Me neither.
Because it couldn't stop growing.
Me neither.
Wait, you got like some?
No, I get a little
stubble?
catfish. A little catfish. Okay. You know, everybody gets a little hair right here in the corners, but that's it. I wax it.
It looks very waxed, very clear, very. He's got one of those too. He's got the.
Gotta keep eating.
Never done that. Never done that. So anyway,
so
overall, even though medium was amazing, I think overall I just have to rate it like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's something I can watch up until the sacrifice, then I have to cut it off.
Yeah.
Because I cannot see myself watching that segment again.
Yeah.
4.
All right, great. So that was Tales from the Hood 2. I'm so glad we're all still friends. I thought you guys were gonna hate me after. All right, guys. So please be sure to follow us next week when we review Disturbing Behavior. We're taking it back to our 90s. Or is that 2000s? 90s? Is it 90s? I think it's like 98.
James Marsden was very young. Maybe it was
that's
90s?
still the Kevin Williamson era. Yeah. Of
So
horror
late
movies,
90s.
Yeah.
Teen thrillers. I don't really think this is much of a horror movie. I think it's more of a thriller.
Yeah, it's a thriller.
Yeah.
It's one of my standouts. I enjoy that movie a lot.
Definitely an underrated classic.
Okay then.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see you then. Peace.
Bye.
All right.
Oh, and thanks, Jay. We enjoyed you.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so much
me.
for coming on. Come on more.
Maybe
Right
I
back
will.
at
I'll
ya.
just do a little
That's what she
cameo,
said.
pop up.
So, Jay, I do have to ask you, what dipping sauce do you put on your chicken nuggets?
I'm a honey mustard kind of guy.
You would be. You would stay in the same color category. I get it.
Exactly.
But for my wings, be in the poultry realm still. I like blue cheese, not ranch.
Cut the podcast off. Cut the podcast.
Blue cheese
Go
for
to
the
hell.
blue.
Cut the podcast off.
Go to
That's
hell.
a true ring. That's what true wing eaters do. They do blue cheese, not ranch.
On what? So what's the wing topping? What's the wing flavor? I'm sorry.
The wing flavor, I don't get too crazy with the garlic parmesan and the barbecue buffalo. No, you either just do medium or hot/spicy for the wing.
The Booshakalaka Podcast does not support everything that our guests say. We
What are you talking about? You do all that Asian zesty.
Oh my
that,
god!
You do all that shit?
No, just like lemon pepper.
I am
Damn.
an Asian. No, I like Asian zing.
Oh, well, Tiffany, go home.
Like garlicky and spicy. Well, my favorite foods, I think would be Asian foods, number one, and then right after that would be like soul foods, and then after that would be Mexican. So for me,
I don't like wings with bone in them. So.
Oh, what? Dude,
you're out of here.
Podcast off. Cut it off.
You're out of here. Are you kidding? Dude, you can't even say you're a boneless wing type of. Oh, nah, bruh.
Cut the
Everything you just said is null and void.
I don't want to be sucking on no bone.
Excuse me?
Like sucking on the bone, bro.
And you probably like to get the marrow out with your nasty.
All right,
ass.
last question, Jay.
I know wings like a black man.
Flats or
Yes,
drums? Flats or drums?
flats all day. But I'm not mad at a drum if I'm doing like.
It depends. It depends on how meaty it is. Because sometimes they get out of control. Right. Look at us being stereotypes. Okay, I'm cutting it off now. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Where did you hide it, Dan?